Word. Yay. Okay, things are moving slow on my end. Okay, so we are recording. This is our team call for January. I'm going to be sharing my screen in just a moment. You can see that Keichun's on. I'm going to get us started and then pass it over to her. We have a lot of fun to talk about tonight, and I hope that tonight is really amazing for your heart, your soul, and your mindset as you go into this year. And you guys are already blowing me away by what you're doing this month already. Last month was incredible. November was incredible. The whole year was amazing. And so I'm really excited tonight to bring to you, and I've been talking about this a lot and bringing this up on the team page, but bringing to you our focus for the month and for the year, really, and this focus of let's make waves. And I'm going to get my presentation started. My computer, my desktop is moving super slow. So I think it's the reminder to like clean out my documents and get everything like squared away and ready to go. But I'm going to go ahead and just get this started before it goes into presentation mode. So it was really easy. I always try to come up with a mantra and a theme for our team for the year to guide us. And it honestly felt really easy to come up with this one this year. And I'm going to jump into it a little bit. And I asked some of you all like what it meant to you to make waves. And I'll share some of those responses that you all shared with me. But I felt like it was really easy because I feel like we've been doing this. But I want to give you permission this year to make waves unapologetically and to make waves in a way that will create a ripple that's really going to make the most amazing lasting impact on other people. And we'll kind of look at that and what that means to you in that vision a little bit later tonight. But I'm just really excited about it because to me, making waves connotes action. And it doesn't mean sitting still, right? We can't make waves if we're sitting still. We can't make waves if we're idle. We can only make waves if we get up and we walk into the water. Because when we walk into the water, that causes the ripple and then that causes the waves. And then I also think about us together as a team and how together we can make even bigger waves. And so I just am really excited about where this year is going to take us. I'm really thankful about where 2020 took us and how much happened last year. And I really do, even though the year was so challenging, I look at our company and I look at our team and I look at our new teammates and I look at the lives that were changed and the opportunities that just fell into our laps with all of the hard work, that culminated over time with consistent action. And it makes me smile. There's so many wins, I feel like, for this team and for each of you. And I hope even if you're sitting here as a new coach, or you're sitting here feeling like you didn't have a lot of wins, you're on a team that had a lot of wins. So that meant you were part of that. And soak it in and know that the same and more can happen for us in 2021. And I think about a lot of us, and for me and for many of you, a huge win for the year was running a 5K. Like that is one of the things that I am so proud about in this team. Just joining together, and I really saw the power of accountability and the power of doing a program specific group when we all locked arms to train for 30-day breakaway. It was super fun. It was so outside of so many of our comfort zones. And the coolest thing was the fact that I do live in the same neighborhood with Lily and Jenny, and I saw an entire family do that program together and out running in the neighborhood and in the park together. And it reminded me that what we do transcends our lives and it goes into our homes and it goes into our communities. And I know there were so many of our neighbors that watched the Fellows family run and were so inspired by that. I saw teammates getting together and running on trails and things like that. And it was just so cool to see that happen during a time in our lives that was so insanely crazy. I think that was super cool. It was so cool that so many success starters emerged from 2020 and so many of you got to be in coach test groups and got to be part of really exclusive, really unique opportunities and bring that back to our team. And we're just so proud of all of our success starters. We're proud of everyone who rank advanced this year. We had Courtney Bear's team, Heartstrong, go 5-star diamond this year. She got to attend leadership. I'm so glad we got to make it happen in Florida with us. And it was just so truly amazing win for everyone on our team because we haven't had that happen for a really long time. I saw so many new young coaches come into this team, college students, right? And or fresh out of college, start to build a business and build dreams at an age where I wish that would have been an opportunity for me. And we just have a lot of new, young, fresh, inspiring energy on this team. People who can teach me how to do things on Instagram that I can't do. It's just really, really cool to see a lot of young leadership emerge on our team. And it's so, so cool. It's so beautiful. I saw so many really amazing systems be created for our team. Our leadership team, our squad really came together and worked super hard this year on creating systems that will allow everyone on this team to feel super confident bringing people onto this team and helping other people build a business, even if you don't feel fully equipped. We have this incredible new coach mentorship that has emerged as a result of Amanda and Lindsay and Erica working so hard and diligently, and then sharing that and teaching that to all of us so that we can bring that to the masses of our coaches. We had the incredible coach playbook squad spend hours upon hours together creating a duplicatable system that you all can plug into. That's within our Rise Up Leaders page, and that you can plug your coaches into. It's just amazing to be able to confidently direct people to the resources they need outside of the Coach Online office, in as taught to by our own teammates from our own experience. It's been really cool to see that come to fruition. But I'm just really proud too of the businesses that you all have confidently built this year. Watching your paychecks and your wins, and you bring new teammates onto the team and them rank advancing. It's just been really, really awesome to watch that, you guys. And I just hope that you feel so awesome about the year, but really confident going into the next year. Something I'm really proud about is that our team achieved elite status for the 6th year. And that does not come, that's not an easy task or an easy feat. And it is not a job that someone does alone at all. It has not even been just the work of my personally sponsored coaches, but all of you showing up, leading by example, showing what is possible, and being there for all of the coaches in our downline, that we were able to be an elite team this year. And so it's just been an amazing, amazing ride. And I have this quote at the bottom. I kind of like took something Carl said today in the National Wake Up Call, which was amazing, and kind of made it my own. But we are who we are because of what we do for others and for each other. A book that has so positively impacted me this entire year and that I will be taking with me into 2021 is a book called Know What You're For by Jeff Henderson. If you read any book this year, I hope that you read this book, because it is all about showing up for other people in a way that is so simple and so effective. But really, truly, we are who we are today. Our success, our rank, our fire, our passion, all of that is because of what we do for other people and for each other. This team is so selfless. This team is one that just makes me so proud to be a part of every single day. And that's one of the reasons that we were able to achieve this amazing title. And every time I talk about elite, I have to say this though. This is not meant for me only and for Fit Fighter Nation. It's for Heartstrong. It's for Soul Fit Nation. It's for Soaring Strong Nation. It's for all of our nations that come together and all of our teams. You guys, we can have so many more elite teams this year if we continue to move forward with the way that we ended the year. That momentum is still here. That hamster wheel is still moving. And we've got to keep those systems in place that have been working so well, that we've worked so hard to create. And so I'm really excited to see what this year brings. And I really do challenge you guys and the leaders on our team to make sure that your teams are also pushing for that elite status next year, because it really just means that your coaches are succeeding and you're helping them get into activity, but also helping them rank advance and helping them hit Success Club. And I know that you all can do that because we have everything in place. Now, before I get too far into this too, I just want to talk about and just make sure everybody knows we have an amazing January planned, and I don't want you to miss a thing. Okay, not only are we all like, oh my, we just started 9-week Control Freak today. Okay, we're all dialing in our nutrition, and I'm so proud of how everyone is working together and everyone's showing up in such a huge way. So we have that going for us, but we have so many amazing things going for us as a team. Our corporate Beachbody Corporate is actually hosting Super Weekend this weekend. And so just make sure you're tuned into Beachbody Coach 411, the Coach Online office, so we can get all of the information that we need for Super Weekend. I will make sure that I share it on the team page as well. But everything that I'm talking about right now is an event on the Fit Fighter Nation Facebook page. That's where I kind of house everything that you need to know, or all the places you need to be and put on your calendar for the month. And Super Weekend is one of those. And so it's this Saturday. It's at noon Eastern Standard Time, and there's supposed to be awesome stuff. So I will never miss a Super Weekend, virtually or in person. And so I hope that you all can try to make that happen this weekend as well. We're hosting a PD movie night for the first time. That's on the team page under the events. It's on a Friday night. We're all going to watch a movie on Netflix, and we're going to get together and talk about it. And it's going to be awesome. I'm excited for these kinds of events because I know they're just going to fill our cups, but bring us closer together. We've got another sweaty Saturday this month as well. We're hosting a book club where we're reading Matthew McConaughey's Green Lights, which if you're not listening to it, totally listen to it because his voice is extra dreamy and his words just hit you a little bit differently than when you're just reading it from the page. But then we also are hosting a diamond mentorship this month called Destination Diamond. Now, I don't want you to miss that. If you are a coach on our team and you want more income, rank, business knowledge, a little bit more confidence in how to build a business, you need to be in there. No matter what your current rank is, no matter any of that, or what your rank was, or where you were, where you are now, it doesn't matter. It's for anyone who wants to build their business and build it with a team. And that means building an income, but that also means having a little bit more knowledge of the business and how that works, and a little more confidence as a CEO and how to manage your time in that way. You want to be part of Destination Diamond. Erica went live on Rise Up Leaders. Rise Up Leaders is our business building page. She went live there to share with you the application, the group, and all the info you need to know. Don't miss it. If you're a current diamond, do it. If you're a star diamond, do it, because we've never done this training before. And I want you to be part of it to get it, so you know who needs to be in there. And so you also have that foundation of knowledge and support too. We're going to go all in with you guys, and we want you to be a part of it. Okay. So it doesn't matter what your rank is. It doesn't matter if you hit Success Club last month. It just matters where you are right now, where you want to go. Okay. And so just in case you're a new coach, just know that we've got our team page, Fit Fighter Nation, but we also have the Rise Up Leaders. And the Rise Up Leaders is our page for coaches who want to build their business. That's where our coach playbook is. That's where all of our power hours are, live power hours and everything like that. So make sure that if you go on our team page on Facebook, you look at the announcements tab. And then one of those announcements is a video about Rise Up Leaders and a link to join that group. So definitely make sure you're in that group. There's no requirement to stay in it. It's just a matter of surrounding yourself with people who are doing something more with their business. It's a great place to be. Lots and lots of great resources. Okay, last thing here. And I would love for you all to start talking in the chat box, because I want to read some of the things that you guys are going to say here. Okay. I'm going to look at the chat box too. When I share my screen, I don't always see the chat box. I'm going to open my chat box. Okay. All right. Oh, you guys are sweet. Okay. All right. So our team motto, let's make waves. I've kind of already talked about it a little bit. I want to know, what does it mean to you? Some of you have already shared that on the team page, and I'm going to pull up some of your answers as we're sitting here. What does it mean to you to make waves? And you can think about that in terms of your business, in terms of your personal journey, maybe your personal growth journey. I know for me, this is important to me because for the longest time in my life, I tried really hard to not make any waves whatsoever. Just keep everybody happy and keep quiet. Follow the path that's been laid out in front of you, the one you're supposed to take. Show up and do the job you're supposed to do, but don't ask too many questions. Don't bring too much of you to the table, because then you're going to make waves. You're going to ruffle some feathers, right? Don't necessarily share all the dreams and hopes on your heart, because what will people think? Show up on social media and just show enough, right? Nothing that's going to make your mom cringe or your friends roll their eyes. Ask, but don't ask too much because I don't want anybody to not like me or think badly of me, right? Like literally for 32 years, probably of my life, I tried really hard to not make a single wave. And now that's all I want to do is make waves. I want to ruffle people's feathers. I want people to say, "What? What did she say?" I want people to be like, "Is she posting another freaking sweaty selfie?" I want people to be like, "There she goes with the damn shake again," right? Oh, showing her food again. I want to make waves. I want people to question the way that they're living now and wonder if there's a better path. I want a mom who's feeling like she's unfulfilled to know it's okay to say something about it. I want somebody who's sick and tired of feeling sick and tired to raise her hand and say, "I'm ready right now," right? That's all I want to do is make waves. I want to tell somebody when they want to quit the program they started on day one today because they just can't figure out the door thingy. Sorry, you don't get to quit today. You have to try a little bit harder and find a new solution instead of saying, "Oh, just do whatever. It's okay. We have thousands of other programs and workouts." No, I want to make waves. I want people to know that there's a better way or a new way or a fun way to live life, to do life, to make a career, to be home with your kids, to make an income, to pay off debt, to live the life of your dreams, right? So I want to see some of the things that you guys have said too, as you guys are typing in there. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to our team? Right? And to our team, I see our team, oh my gosh, coming together in massive ways and locking arms and walking into that water together, not just creating ripples, but creating waves together. Because I think about one single person can make waves, but when people lock arms together, and they follow and they walk in that water together, arms locked, the massive waves that they can make together in communities, in homes, in families, in this world, right? With our mission of helping people. And also with this opportunity to be able to help people financially as well. I think it rocks my world and it blows my mind when I think about those kinds of opportunities. But some of you guys said some things too. And so let's see. Gina said it means going to the next level as a businesswoman. Casey said being bold enough to say the things you believe in and not afraid to rock the boat. Tiffany, stepping outside of your comfort zone to make positive change. Morgan, no holding back and letting yourself shine. Heather, making a difference, showing up and being consistent. Lindsay, not fighting the tide, learning to ride the wave and make your own, just like Elsa, which I would love any Disney reference. Stephanie Wolf said, "Don't be afraid to be yourself and be bold in how we show up. Get outside of your comfort zone." Missy, to me, it means stirring the pot, not doing the average, but going beyond, being more, being risky, more daring, and more brave. I think that's my Enneagram 8 coming out. Amy, going out of your comfort zone, being strong and courageous, even through fear. Rose, it means to share my journey and help others start theirs. Melanie, making waves in this business to me is like the ripple effect. I make a difference in a few people's lives, then they each make a difference in a few people's lives, and it compounds from ripples to waves, reaching so many more than I could have done on my own. Amen. Caroline, making a wave more to me of catching the wave at that moment when you let go and you're in sync with the energy of the sea and just in front of the curve, so your body catches the energy and moves you forward to the finish instead of flowing past you and leaving you behind. I love it. Catching the wave. Luania, shaking it up, not to be stagnant, always in motion. Breathe in, breathe out. I love that. I love that imagery there. Helping women, Heather or Catherine said, helping women know they're enough. Stephanie McDonald, to change or impact the lives of those around us, being unapologetically ourselves and fighting for what we believe in. Oh, Rose, I love you. Thank you. Lindsay, making waves so that you can learn to ride the waves of life. Show up during the high times and the low times and everything in between. Sammy, helping other women feel like they're enough. Be someone that affects people around me. Coach Courtney, making waves means not being afraid of what others will think. Proudly sharing this life changing opportunity. It means adventure and it's fun. Rose said, I want to be that person when everyone sees my crazy workout videos and how I don't hold back but have fun so that they want to live this way too. Oh, I love all of this too. And Rose, I love your workout videos. So I need you to keep sharing those, okay? Because they make me laugh every single time and I love it. So, you guys, this is, I want you to, whatever you're thinking or whatever you wrote down or someone wrote down, if it spoke to you or something's in your mind of what it means for you to make waves, I want you to write it down. And I want that to be something that you see when you wake up in the morning. And every day you could ask yourself that question, how can I make waves today? And that can be your guiding principle every day. Because some days you spill your fruit punch Energize all over the freaking white rug in your office on day one, and you need something to guide you out of that, right? Out of that, ah, or out of those limiting beliefs. And if you just simply ask yourself, how can I make waves today? I'm going to instantly stop thinking about the spill or the limiting belief or the doubt or the fear or all the things on my to-do list. And I'm going to focus on how I can make waves, which is how I can take action to do the things that you said you needed to do to make those waves, right? How can you stay in the high tide and not ride the low tide? How can you catch the wave, right? And so if that's a question that you guide yourself with every day, you will be reminded to take action in that brave, unapologetic, courageous way that you've been inspired to tonight. Okay. So that's something I really want you to start thinking about and digging deep into. And I think Keichun's going to probably take it from there and help us even further.
Oh my goodness. First of all, I love hearing all the ways that you all have already begun to identify making waves. First of all, if y'all don't know me, I'm Keichun Graves. I'm from Beachbody Corporate. I'm one of the coach development mentors. It's really cool because Beachbody provides like this additional mentorship, and we're an additional resource to what you guys already have, because you guys are on an amazing nation of teams. And I think that that's really cool. And that's people that you can lean on. And we're just an additional resource that Beachbody provides. So enough about me. When Aaron and I were speaking about your guys' theme, which I love the fact that you have themes of let's make waves, I began to go inward. And what does that mean to me? So for me, making waves means identifying what that means individually, identifying how to then relentlessly and unapologetically pursue making waves. And then as you are making those waves individually, whether they feel like they're a split splash or a giant tsunami, but as you individually make your wave, then you help your sister make your wave, and you help your coach friends make their waves, and you help your customers make their waves. And all of these waves come together and they truly create a tsunami towards ending the trends, period. Because what we're doing goes well beyond ending the trend of obesity. You guys know this. It is Monday. It is the 4th. We've had craziness. We have kids with drawings on their face. We have Energize built on the floor, right? But you are here. So yes, we are going beyond ending the trend of obesity. We're ending the trend of loneliness. We're talking about how we can make waves together individually, but how those waves come together. We are ending the trend of limiting beliefs, right? We talked about how we're going to remember how we decided and we committed to making waves today and on the 1st, and that's going to carry us through this entire year and through the rest of our life. We're also ending the trend of living paycheck to paycheck. It was so fun hearing all of the lives that were impacted, with including your own last year. And I just know that that is just the foundation. That is just the tip of the iceberg for what you will individually and how you will help even more people in total, how you guys will come together to impact lives and to make waves. But as I was going inward with this theme of making waves, I began to think, okay, so does everyone know how to identify what that means for themselves? And does everyone know how to then set that vision, cast it boldly, but identify the goals that will be necessary in order to truly reach that vision that you have for yourself, reach that vision that you have for your business, reach that vision that you have for your family, and so on and so forth. And so today, I would love to talk about casting that vision boldly so that you can truly, unapologetically, and relentlessly make waves together. And we're also going to talk about how then you identify the goals necessary in order to truly become all that you envision becoming. So let's jump right in. First of all, I always think that having an evolving vision is an extremely important step to becoming exactly who you envision yourself being. One of the first things is to truly commit to what you have said. You guys have had incredible ideas already of what this means to you. So hopefully this is just little reminders as you continue to evolve your vision. So you can have a vision for yourself, you can have a vision for your family, and you can have a vision for your business. And your vision is what will drive you. Your vision is what will encourage you, especially when you begin to see it more and more clearly. Your vision works as the blueprint to fulfilling your destiny because it allows you to be aspirational towards your future. Having a vision of who you ultimately want to become, or maybe you at your next level, if that's a little easier for you to think of, allows us to be nimble and to adjust to change. It allows us not to freak out if we spill the energize. It allows us not to freak out if we can't figure out our control track. It allows us not to freak out if we fall short of a goal or if we need to change the goals altogether because we know where we're going. It allows us to not focus on the destination, but it encourages us to be on a journey of destinations where we are ever evolving and ever learning and ever unlearning and ever trying and ever growing individuals as we are making waves, because people who make waves are masterpieces and works in progress at the same time. And that is the most beautiful thing about each and every one of you. You can cast your vision, like I said, for your ultimate level or your next level, or you can focus in even more niche and you can create this vision that you have for yourself, for your business, for your family. But make that decision on when you say making waves, what does that mean? What does that truly mean? Go deep with that and then approach you casting that vision to that specific thing that you've identified. Next on the vision casting, which honestly, I'm just giving you I'm going to be skimming through this because I can go on and on and on and on talking about vision. But the next thing is, I think that vision actually equates to a few different things that really make up your vision. The first is to identify your why. Your why. Now, remember, we're talking about our next level, our ultimate vision. We're talking about this vision that we have for ourselves holistically, or maybe you're talking just specific to your business. But regardless of how you are identifying this vision that you're casting boldly and unapologetically, start with your why. Your why is a reason to push, or a reason to keep going, a reason to start, a reason to get back up in a way that drives you towards becoming who you ultimately desire, who you committed to being, that thing that you wrote in the chat, that thing that you sent over to Aaron when you identified what making waves means for you, when you committed to making waves this year. What we know, and what 2020 definitely taught us, is that life is filled with inevitable highs and inevitable lows. I call them peaks and valleys myself. But having a why is something that you can lean on to start. Having a why is something that you can lean on to not give up, to get back up when you've been knocked down by that wave, or when you needed to take time to feel and to heal. It's like a bow and arrow, so to speak, right? You've been pulled and you've been tried and you've been tested to new levels. Maybe those new levels even drove you to depression or sadness. What's your reason to release again? When you're scared, when it's been a long time since you started, when that failure hurt big time and it was public, when you don't even know where to start. That's your why. So what is your why? What is your reason to push? And as you think about this, you may find yourself getting emotional. It's totally common for that to happen. And this may take more time than what we have together. So I encourage you to not let this be the last time you think about this. Go lock yourself in a room and go really deep and ask yourself why. And ask yourself why again. Ask yourself why again. Go deep with why is that your why? The first is identifying your why. Next, and this is what I call a vaction statement. Let me explain what that means. Vaction, term that I trademarked, it's vision plus action. But a vaction statement specifically is a combination of your personal mission and your ultimate or next level vision that you have for yourself. And so really, this is a statement about what you want to do with your life, with your business, and how you would identify how you will move through life in order to get to that next level. Now, as you are dreaming big, first of all, keep the why in the forefront of your mind, because that why is going to drive you to answer these questions. But also, don't focus on the how. This section is about the vision. And I encourage you to dream big and to lean on your team members. If you aren't a big dreamer, dream how you need to dream and then reach it and evolve that dream. But lean on your team of big dreamers, because you are a direct reflection of the people that you hang out with. So if you don't consider yourself a big dreamer, start where you're at, right? Meet yourself where you're at, but lean on your team, especially the ones who are setting and inching their way, crawling their way, running their way to that big dream, that big vision that they have for themselves. Who is the type of person to fulfill your personal mission in life, or to do that ultimate act that you think about doing, that you obsess about doing in your business? Again, this is something that may take time, more time than what we have tonight. So really think about what that means for you. A few things that, or ways rather, that you can start your vaction statement would be, I have 4 of them. 1, ultimately my mission or vision, ... You fill that in. 2, in my life, ... 3, my ultimate vision, or excuse me, my ultimate vision or mission, ... And 4, I will be ... Again, ultimately my vision or mission, ... in my life, ... my ultimate vision or mission, ... and 4, I will be ... That is your vision statement. What are you working on or towards? What would you do over and over and over again? And go deep with this visionary vaction statement, this vision plus action statement, and then put it somewhere you can see it daily. If you have a vision board, this is something that you can add to your vision board to make that vision board really something that works as a foundation and a guidepost for you becoming all that you imagine yourself becoming. The third thing, and how you cast a vision boldly, we started with your why, then we went to your vaction statement. The third are what I call your vaction declarations. Again, these are your vision plus action declarations, the things that you declare you're going to do regardless of life, because we are making waves this year. And waves means that we're going to have to declare taking consistent, you get to define what that means for you, action every single day towards the person that we desire to be, towards the entrepreneur that we desire to be, towards the leader that we desire to be, towards the community group leader in our bod groups that we desire to be. Vision plus action. And so defining your vaction declarations is all about envisioning yourself at the attainment of your next level, or at your ultimate vision that you have for yourself. It's what you may look like at your next level, or at the attainment of the vaction statement that you will create for yourself. And even if you don't know all the things, even if you don't know all the ways that the person that you desire to become, how they move and what they do, you can identify one or a few that will help you walk the walk as the person you desire to become. And those baby steps, They compound over time. And when you do those things consistently over time, no matter what life throws your way, no matter if you're going balls to the wall at an 8, 9, 10, or slowing down to a crawl at a 2, 3, or 4, you will become who you desire, even if you suck at first. Even if you suck at first. Isn't that amazing? As long as you keep doing the actions. Who you desire to become depends on what you do today and tomorrow and the next day for sure, but not because you did it perfectly. Thank goodness. It's going to be because you did it, period. Now let me go back really quick and just explain what I mean by an 8, 9, 10. If this business were, and this relentlessness, so to speak, were divided into 1 to 10 increments, I say that most people, most coaches who are relentlessly pursuing their goals, they live at a 6 to 7. 1 is kind of sitting on the couch, which guess what? Sometimes life calls for that. Sometimes we have to sit and we have to feel and we have to heal. And 10 is locking yourself in a room, charging hell with a bucket of water towards your goals and towards making those waves and creating the ripple effect for other people to do the same. So we're living at a 6 to 7, but there are seasons where we are at a 10, an 8, 9, 10, and there are some seasons where we may be at a 2, 3, 4. Who you become depends on what you do today. It depends on what you do tomorrow. It depends on what you do the next day, but not because you did it perfectly. Even if that means with starting with 1 step and doing that consistently and adding steps on every single day, that is how you evolve into who you imagine yourself being. Now, I call this having a champion mindset. This is just a little side note, but a part of having a champion mindset is that while the vision part of making waves is all about seeing, you don't have to see yourself all there. So don't get caught up on seeing yourself there or seeing yourself all there, because as you get closer, as you identify that step, as you start working that step, as you become consistent with it, as you add it, you will see your vision more clearly. You do not have to see the entire staircase to take the first step towards who you are ultimately becoming. So the third thing is to create your action statement, your vision plus action statement. Excuse me, your action declarations, those vision plus action declarations. The things that you declare are the things that you do in the future. That's a good way to look at it. The person that you desire to become, how they move, how they walk, how they talk, how they're confident, how they are consistent, how they're persistent, how they pick themselves back up, how they don't let the spilled energize really ruin their day. When as maybe 5 years ago, maybe a year ago, it would have thrown you off course. And you would have said, you know what? I'm going to start January 11th. Now, the next in creating your vision is to identify your values. I don't know if we talk about values enough, but values are principles that you believe are most important in your life to live by. And creating value statements is a great way to solidify your action statement, 1, because you can use them as a standard practice for your life, for your family, for your personal life, and for your business as you work to evolve into your next or ultimate level. And there are so many values that you can choose from. You can literally do a Google search to help jog your thought process. But I would encourage you guys to come up with at least 2 values in your business and maybe even personally to live by. Write them out. Put those on your vision board too, because don't just make a vision board with pretty pictures and marvel at them. Make a vision board that works as a blueprint to who you desire to become. And then lastly, on this vision part, identify a word that will drive you. You have a theme already. And I love that this team is filled with a team of nations that creates this one big fit fighter nation. And the theme is let's make waves. What is your word? Sometimes your why can be invigorated or reinvigorated by one single word. And it's a word that you can use when you need to refocus on your vision. when you need to give yourself grace or to be nimble with your goals. It's a word that should encourage you as you move through life, as you're evolving into your next and best level. And this word is not meant to be something that stresses you out or gives you anxiety. I've heard people say that before. And I'm like, girl, that is not your word. Choose another word. That's not what the word is for. If it begins to do that, I'm here to tell you, change it. If you get to March and you're like, this ain't my word, change it. But I say identify a word that will drive you for the next 12 months. What's that word that you need to be driven by? For me in 2020, my word was discipline. What's your word? Oh, I see it. I love that. Fearless. I love that. Tell me what your words are. My word was discipline in 2020. And it's what helped me jolt out of bed daily. And I had that quote on, I call vision boards Vaction boards, but I had that word on my Vaction board along with the quote, discipline is one of the highest forms of self-love. And I have my Vaction board hanging right in my eyesight. So every morning I wake up, the first thing I see is discipline. And I see discipline is one of the highest forms of self-love. And who would have known that in 2019, when I said discipline was going to be my word for 2020, that 2020 would happen and it would shut down. And I would really need to lean on my word discipline in order to continue to evolve, because my routine that I had down packed for 5-6 years, it was completely turned upside down. I used to be the person that worked out at night. I had to start a real different routine for my morning routine. The discipline jolted me out as I was failing forward. Because, when you start a morning routine, I don't know about you guys, but it's failing forward until you figure out what truly works for you. And you hear what works for other people. You read the Savers method from Miracle Morning, and then you play with it a little bit and you figure it out till it works for you. What's the word that jolts you out of bed to do those things? Who knew that I would need to truly lean on my word and that it will get me through and help me to continue to evolve into who I envision myself being? Now, we also have to give ourselves grace and time to feel and heal and cry and eat the things. But afterwards, when we realize that this too shall pass, I had something to lean on, because y'all, I have never cried so much. I cried more in 2020 than I probably have cried ever. And just took me out. What was happening in the world? What was happening to my friends and society? I had to lean on something, and it was discipline. When my routines were flipped upside down and I just wanted to cry and I felt defeated and I felt I was out of control and I felt I had no value to add, it was discipline that allowed me to get back in it, to get my mind back in it, to get my heart back in it, to allow myself to cry and to feel, but to also get back up. Because we can't stay down forever. And even us crawling out of a dark place is better than staying in that dark place. So go big when we talk about making waves. Go big when you're identifying what that means for you individually, how you see that meaning for your team and for your challengers and the people that you're going to be impacting, simply because you are impacting yourself. Go big and know that going big and going hard is a personal definition. It's a personal. You get to identify what that means for you, what going big and going hard means for you, but do it, especially as we get to the end of a tough year. Finishing strong and finishing hard, it may look different than it does for somebody else than it does for you. The key is to identify it for yourself. And even if that is baby stepping your way of doing it and doing one more, and doing one more than what you thought you can do, or picking yourself up all together, or going balls to the wall crazy towards your evolution and being completely and unapologetically relentless towards that evolution, and knowing that there's going to be bruises, and knowing that there's going to be heartache, and knowing that there's going to be heartbreak. There's going to be peaks and valleys. You define what that means for you. So what is your word? My 2021 word is abundance, because my ultimate goal is to be in the position to be an abundant resource to people, to help people identify and reach their next and best level. What is your word? So I can keep going on, but it's time to talk about this action part, because having a vision and taking action is the only way you reach your goals. So I don't know about you guys, but who here was taught to set goals and just set them? Like, what are your goals? Write them all down. And maybe you really did it. And then maybe you began to really plan them even, but really didn't pursue any of them because it was like, wait, where do I start? How do I do it? Maybe just me. Okay, I see somebody said yes. I see some head shaking. Okay, thank you. Whew, it's not just me. So that was so me, especially as I started learning more and more about how to set goals for success. People would say set goals, and then it got a little bit better in years, and they were like, well, set SMART goals. And I was like, okay, I'm getting somewhere with these SMART goals. But still, it was like, but where do I start? And I felt like there was no real method for goal setting for success. And so as you are identifying your vision, right? The first thing I would suggest is going old school and doing a brain dump of your goals. What are the goals that you think you need to set in order to reach the vision that you have for yourself? Just brain dump, just get them all out. Brain dumping is such a good exercise, but that's not the end of how we set goals, where that's how I was taught initially. So write that down, because we don't have time to write them down right all together, even though I would love to. But go back to this exercise. Brain dump all your goals out as you are thinking about creating waves, as you're thinking about what that means for you individually, as you're thinking about the vision and everything that we just went over for how to cast that vision boldly. I just brain dump all the goals that you think you need to take in order to reach it. Now, I'm going to tell you a method that has worked so well for me. This is what I call the 3, 2, 1, 100 method. Now, let me explain what that means a little bit. So the 3, 2, 1, 100 method is, first, it's kind of like a Venn diagram. So I'll say that, meaning your goals can overlap a little bit, but essentially we're going to set 6 goals. So there may be, you brain dumped, right? But we're just going to go with 6 of them at a time. And this is how we identify the 6. We're going to start with 3 personal goals. Always start on you. Work on you first, work on you most and the hardest. Even as moms, that's how we are more present and better moms. Start with you. So we're going to select 3 personal goals. Let me give you examples of what personal goals are. These are your habits and routines. These are your friends and families. These are your relationship, romance, health and fitness, your mental health, your finances, your living environment, your mentality, your attitude, your mindset, your confidence. I can go on and on. Select 3 of those. Then we're going to select 2 Beachbody goals. Your Beachbody goals are driven by your personal goals. They're driven by that. You said create waves. Okay, what does that mean? And then let's see how we can align those 3 personal goals that you set for yourself with Beachbody goals. Beachbody is a vessel for you to evolve into your next and best level. So 3 personal goals, 2 Beachbody goals, and then I say 1 other goal. Now, other goals can be identified as self-care, your spirituality, your faith, your community and your community service, your joy, your fun. I mean, when's the last time you set joy goals, fun goals, your hobbies, your travel, your social life? Listen, whew, social life is a must, and it's a little different, but we should set those type of goals if we feel like we need to lean on that and lean on the people that we surround ourselves with. Your appearance, your aesthetics. The 3, 2, 1, 100 method again means 3 personal goals, 2 Beachbody goals that will drive you to the attainment of those personal goals, and 1 other goal. That way we're rooted in this foundation of joy and gratitude. And then every 100 days, we're going to come back. We're going to figure out where we're at, how we're doing with the goals that we set, how we're doing with the strategies, because after we set the goal, we're going to break them down. We're going to reverse engineer them. So we're going to figure out in 100 days how we're doing. Remember, we have the vision for ourselves. That's the next level or the ultimate vision. But the way we get there is all kinds of crazy. And the reason why we stay steadfast and unwavering is because we know we're going to attain the vision, the evolving vision that we have. But we know that in 100 days, we may need completely course correct. We know that in 100 days, the strategy that we originally set is not quite working or needs to be tweaked, or maybe the goals don't work altogether and we have to change them up. But who we desire to become does not waver. So once we do the 3, 2, 1, then we're going to do what I call putting a stamp on them. So putting a stamp on your goals means making them specific. So you set your goals, you brain dumped, we picked those 6, make them specific, narrowed in, like go deep with that goal. You can't just say it's to be healthy, right? That's not specific enough. Healthy to you, Missy, may mean brushing your teeth and flossing every day and doing it twice a day. Healthy to someone else may mean eating clean every single day and losing weight or gaining weight, right? So we have to be super specific with what that means for us. The T and the stamp on your goal is for time bound. When do you want to achieve it? What's the deadline that you're giving yourself? And how will you react during your 100-day check-in? The first A, because it's a stamp, if you couldn't hear that, if nobody else laughs, I'd be cracking myself up. But the first A is identify the action steps you'll need to take in order to reach that goal that you identified yourself. So this is when you reverse engineer it into those bite-sized pieces, into those smaller goals. This is when you identify at least 1 action to take today towards your evolution. I know it's almost 9 o'clock. If you have not taken a step today towards who you desire to become, towards making waves, the night is not over. Go lock yourself in a room. Go do something tonight, today. The evolution of you starts today. The next A in the stamp is identify who or how you're going to hold yourself accountable. Again, every 100 days, you're going to be checking in. Set your alarm right now. Set your alarm right now for 100 days to go off and do a check-in. Create a reminder in your calendar that you use. So then 100 days, you know to check in with yourself, to gut check yourself, to make sure that you're still on course. Lean in on this nation of incredibly talented and motivating people. And approach every single 100 days like it's the end of the year. Each time, especially you approach or you get near that deadline. The M is to figure out a measurement of success and to ensure that the goal is actually probable, meaning that now this is not to sandbag. This is not to sandbag or to dream any less, but to make sure that it's possible in the time frame that you've given. Like the best example on the fly that I can give is chances are I will not become a doctor next year. Why? Because I haven't done any of the schooling. So that's not the right goal for me in the time frame that I gave myself. So we have to dream big, but we want to make sure that the goal is probable. So you brain dumped your goals. We did the 3, 2, 1, 100 method. And then we put a stamp on your goals. We made them specific, time bound. We identified the actions. We know how we're holding ourselves accountable. We're reaching out to our accountability person. We're putting them on the invite for our 100-day check-in. We have a measurement so that we can ensure that we are measuring success for us and not allowing society to measure what success looks like for us. And then we're making sure that while we're dreaming big, that the goal is probable. And then in 100 days, come back and review your progress towards your goals. Ask yourself if you're on course. Do I need to course correct? Is the strategy still working? Do I need to partner up with my team members? Do we need to create a team template that, because I'm not creative, or I don't have time to create a new welcome coach template when I have a new coach. So do we have a team template? And then I definitely encourage vision boards. But I think that the way to make these vision boards something that you can really work is by making what I call a action board. So it's putting everything that we just identified on this visible piece of something that you can see daily. Put pictures behind your why. Put words behind those declarations. When you declare what you plan to do, see them every day. Put your goals on there. Put pictures behind what your goals are, and put pictures behind who you ultimately desire to become. Now, the last thing I'll talk about is mindset. And mindset is the glue that makes this vision and and your ability to make waves a real thing. So two of my, and I have so many, but I can't believe we're already out of time. I'm like talking so fast, but I'm just going to give you two. And I have so many characteristics from people who have reached goals, who have fallen short of goals, who are still walking in their path, regardless of all the peaks and valleys that they've gone through. Two of them. And the first is, don't let society dictate what success looks like. Don't let society dictate what success looks like, what your goals should be, or how you should pursue them. And sometimes society is within you. It's within us. It's in our family. It's what we see being done on social media, or being talked about badly on social media, or what you think you're supposed to be. Maybe you went through all this schooling and you did all these things and you got the job and it was high paying and you were doing all these things, and you realized that that wasn't where your passion lied, and that wasn't how you wanted to make waves. And now you're doing this. Don't let society dictate when they're like, well, what are you doing? You paid all that money for school? Yes, I'm following and I'm pursuing my passion. And these things should be personal without those negative influences. So go inward to ensure that your vision is your vision, and how you measure success is how you measure success. And unfollow or remove yourself as much as we can from those things or those situations that are not conducive to keeping that unwavering mindset and that unwavering belief that you can make waves. And when you begin to, because we're human, think those negative thoughts, suppress them. Affirm yourself on the other side of those negative thoughts. Those things, those limiting beliefs, those negative objections that you tell yourself over and over. What's the opposite of that? Begin to not only tell yourself that daily, but affirm yourself that. As much as we can, remove ourselves from the things that are not conducive to the mindset that we need in order to be the evolution of us. And the second thing is, just because you're relentless and we're unapologetic does not mean that life is not going to happen, right? It doesn't mean that you ignore life happening to you either, because it is inevitable that life will happen. But a mindset characteristic that I think we all should adopt is to keep going no matter what. Even if you're moving snail slow, even if you were on a roll and had to take time to heal or to renew, even if you are failing forward with trying to figure out your new routine because the kids are going back to school, and then 2 weeks later, they're not in school, and then 2 weeks later, they're back in school, right? We have to have an unwavering belief in what you will achieve, because we're going to get there. We know at least the first step towards who we ultimately desire to be. And we know without a shadow of a doubt that you will be that person, Gina. You will be that person, Missy. You will be that person, Erica. Even if the goals that we take to get there look all kinds of crazy, with all kinds of peaks and valleys, declare it. You've already declared it with your action statement. You've already said what your why is and the people that keep you going or get you started. You already said what you will do in order to become that person and how you will get to the attainment of that vision. But when life happens, keep going. Because as long as you keep moving in the right direction, you will get to the attainment of that vision you have for yourself. I know that we're over time, so I'm going to digress, but listen, I'll end like this. I think that as you are continuing to work relentlessly and unapologetically towards becoming this amazing life changer and life impactor and wave maker that you all are becoming to come, not life, nor death, nor hater. And the hater can sometimes be yourself or someone else, nor social media, nor society, nor self-sabotage, nor you thinking that you're supposed to be doing something else or doing something else that you actually don't even desire to be doing, and then changing the entire course of your life. Don't let any of that hold you back from who you desire to become. That is how you will ultimately evolve into your next and your ultimate level, into being the best coach and the best mom and the best husband. And that's how you ultimately become the evolution of you as we make waves together. Whew. I'm sweating over here. I'm having a personal summer. That's all I got.
Oh, I don't have anything to say after that. Girl, that was great. Thank you always for your fire, your passion, your honesty, your truth, your inspiration. Keichun, we're so blessed to have you. Thank you. Thank you. So what we need to do is now we have to sit down and have time to do this, right? And so what I would love to see everyone do is to buddy up with someone as their accountability to make this happen, to sit down and take the steps that Keichun just walked you through. And you may even need to come back to the playback of this and put it on again and listen, and now write down ferociously, as you listen to the playback. But I think no matter what, this can't be done alone, right? And that it needs to be shared, because I felt like that was the most powerful thing for me when I actually spoke my vision and my goals and what my heart desired into the world, into other people. And when I shared that with someone else, I don't feel like this is anything that should be just left to you and you alone, because it is scary, right? Sometimes to let all of that come out, because a lot of us are so used to not wanting to make waves and keeping the peace and the status quo, right? And if we are going to go into this year with that unapologetic, relentless action, we are going to have to be really brave in creating this action statement and this action board, and it needs to be shared. And I'm not saying you've got to share it on the team page, but all means, if you come up with something and you want to share it, yes, do it, because that will inspire someone else to be brave and do the same. But I believe that you need at least one other person in your corner on our team to hold you accountable to doing this, and for you sharing this with them, and vice versa. And so I would do that. And so we need a timeline for this. And so I would say by next Monday night, you've got something, right, that you feel really proud of, and you know that it's evolving. That's the thing, is I think a lot of us hold ourselves back from doing this because we think we have to have a lot of things figured out to do it, and we've got to have a lot of answers, and you don't, because it's evolving. You just have to start with something, and that will grow and change as you grow and change. My vision has grown and changed and gone so many different directions throughout the last 9 years. I never imagined this, right? But over time, I could see it a little bit clearer. And so yours will change and grow and evolve. So you can't be scared to sit down and write down something. Okay. You just have to get it done. And so that's my action to you, is to have a buddy. Okay. And it may not be someone you know that well yet, but maybe it's somebody that you're doing 9-week control freak with and you saw their name in the group. Send them a message tonight on Facebook. You see their name, you see the names right here, right now, whether you can see faces, you see names, write a name down, reach out to somebody tonight. Okay. And say, hey, can we hold each other accountable to this? Cause I know this is important. And then make sure that you give yourselves a deadline of next Monday night. You've got this. And you are going to feel so good. And you're going to have so much clear direction and where you're going and why. And not only that, you will have shared it with someone else. So I think that's really powerful. Okay, is that a deal? Can you guys do that, please? Um, yes, Kate. Okay, Kate, I think you should team up with Heather Smith because we all live close. You guys are newbies together. Okay, so do that. All right, so I'm looking at the chat box. Yes, so if you guys want any help or you need anybody to team up with, definitely, absolutely powerful as we go into Team Cup. Absolutely, that's so true, Caroline. So look at names, write people down, let people know if you need somebody to be a buddy for you. This is really cool. I love this going into next week that we have something so powerful to focus on. Super cool. Keichun, anything else? We good?
So good. I look forward to witnessing the evolution and
Yeah.
witnessing all these nations just making waves.
It's going to be awesome. All right, you guys, thanks so much for your time tonight. I will upload this tomorrow because I'm working on my nighttime routine. That's one of my goals. And so I'm not going to be staying up too much longer. So I will upload this and post it on the team page tomorrow. Thank you all for watching the recording and everybody that was on here tonight. It's so amazing. I felt your energy, your love, and your fire tonight. It was so great to see you. And I can't wait till we see each other again. But we'll see each other for Super Weekend this weekend and lots of fun stuff this month. All right, you guys, I'll see you later. Thanks so much. And thank you again, Keichun.
Thank you.